Welcome back to the course on system security. I hope the screen is visible. Anyone can acknowledge in the chat box whether the screen is visible. Yes. I'll just take this, scroll it. Right. I was explaining about that. So here you can select the E value randomly, right? And then you can check. You can increase the value. By the way, E can be selected in a such a way that the pi of n, the GCD between this E and the pi of n should be 1, so that you can select the any value, right? Depends upon that, automatically it can select any values. That very similarly I'm initialing my d value is equal to 0 and I use the formula. So d is equal to pi of n 1 plus here this, right? D star e modulus pi of n, which is supposed to give one value, right? Which they are using the opposite value here, right? So I mentioned about d is equal to pi of n 1 plus e, right? If you bring this here, so e star d, and if I bring this here, pi of n, which will give the remainder value 1. They mentioned this formula. So d star e modulus pi of n, which will give the remainder value. I hope it is clear. Any further don't worry that they have used a different formula, but when I explained theoretically, I mentioned about that d is equal to pi of n plus 1 upon e. I use this formula. These two formulas are correct, same, right? I explained you can bring the d here, which will e multiplied by d, and you can bring this pi of n 1. Actually this is out, it's supposed to come out, right? And then you will get the remainder value is equal to 1. I hope this is clear. Any further explanation required? So e star d and mod pi of n, which is equal to 1. So after that, the program is asking, right? It is the d value which has been calculated, and they are printing the e and d values. And so here, this is the line where we'll get the, where we will enter our actual information or plain text, and followed by, with the help of this power mod function which I explained early, right? Here they are doing the ciphertext, right? Here the function is called, and whatever the value which we entered, the data which is going to be passed to the power mod function, and which is doing the calculation. Finally the ciphertext will be produced, and very similarly the decryption function is carried out, and which will produce the ciphertext. Instead of power mode operation, what you could do is that I'll write the another steps through which you will understand it clearly, right? So what you could do is that you will use this function, right? Different variables, ciphertext equal to, right, any values, right, which might be, you can use the power function which is available in C language, right? Whatever the value which you selected, suppose if you have selected e value, and say for example, if my m value is, m is the plain text means, right, any variable you can use for. So here I am using the m value, here I am using a data. So here you can use data and my e value, so which means that you can use power of data comma e, and this value can be stored somewhere. And then you can use another temporary variable ct2, which is the actual ciphertext, which is ct mod n. Otherwise you can use ct, this is the correct annotations, right? ct mod 187, that value will be stored here. You can use power, or you can use this cap value. So data cap e. So this will also makes the power, right? Some language it may support, some it may not support, but instead of using the actual, you can use the power methods, right? You can calculate the power. What was the formula for encryption, which is m power e mod n. I can divide this into two part. So this can be implemented using, I'll check the eraser, which is this first part m power e, which can be calculated using this line of code, which is c is equal to, you can create this variable and then power of m comma e. Okay, and then you can use another variable which is c2 c1 c2, right? So here you can use whatever the value which we calculated, any of this is going to, right? Can you remember that you all did the calculation using your mobile, right? Someone said that it is a large number, so that is the m power e, and for that if you are applying the mod value, which is n value is equal to 187, so that will give the values, so which was 175 actually, right? So 175 was stored, will be stored in the c2, right? In order to do the decryption part, you can use the same value, same functions, power and the ciphertext value, and which based on the d value which we calculated, right? I hope this is clear. Any further clarification required on this programming part? I can explain the code, I can demonstrate the code again, and then I'll show the output how it works, and based on that you can write your simple coding. I'll just clear all the annotations. Okay, so I'll clear the annotation window. I'll just compile and execute. I hope the screen, the execution screen is visible. Anyone can quickly write in the chat box. Yes. So the program is, the execution window is showing the line which is enter any two prime numbers, right? I'm going to, first I'll check any random values, 4 followed by 10. So here I've entered the two values, right? First of all, I need to check as per my logic, right, whether these two values are the prime number or not. So both the numbers are not prime. Please enter the prime numbers only, right? So if next time if I'm trying with the correct plain numbers, right, I'll take the same example which I've used, right, which is 11 and followed by the 17, right? So that I'm using the same value which we did the calculation theoretically, so that you will get a more understanding. So 11 and 17, right? So here what was the value which they calculated, right, which is based on that the logic which I wrote, the c e value and then d value which they calculated, which is calculated e value is equal to 7 and d value is equal to 23. Now suppose if I wanted to encrypt the data, what was the input value which I used, which is 10, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. This was the value which I used, 10, right? Yes. If I give the value 10, right, it need to do the calculation of encryption part, which is 175, right? I hope we did it correct, right? And the ciphertext value, which is 175. After that, we applied decryption part, and then we calculated the decrypted value, which is equal to 10. Is it clear? Is there any difficulty to understand how the program executes? or do you have any difficult to understand the logic or any line of the code which I shown or demonstrated? Feel free to raise your queries. I have the code through the open compiler, I mean online compiler. I can share the code with you all, and irrespective whether you have the laptop or mobile phone, you can execute the code and check the output. Don't say any excuses whether you have the laptop or whether you do have laptop, you do not have the laptop. It requires only a device with the internet connectivity. Which I can share it through the chat window. I'm sharing the programming link through the chat window, right? You can just click on the link and execute the program. At the meantime, if you have any difficulties to understand the code, you can raise the query, or shall I explain again? How many would like to explain again, or how many if you understood? Reply something in the chat box so that I'll come to a conclusion whether I need to proceed further or whether I need to explain with the coding part. Yes, Abid. Okay. And what about others? Abid, I'll accept your request. I will explain again, no issues. Those who understood the coding part, they can start executing the program in your laptop, PC, as well as on the mobile which they use. What about others? Everyone's answer is expected so that I'll take a decision accordingly. There are 22 including me. I got only 2 responses. What is this? Okay. Okay, I'll simplify the code by ignoring some parts. For if you feel it is difficult to understand, right, I can give in the simplest way, right? What you can do is that, right? I just need to open a open board. Here it is, open board, right? I'll take a separate sheet. See, so what is the logic? Sorry, forget about the prime factors and other numbers, right? You just write the codes for, so declare the variables integer p, q, and e, d, and n value, pi of n value, right? Now you just printf, enter two values, right? And scan up, right? So percentage d one more time, comma, ampersand p, ampersand q, right? Then you need to write this statement which is n is equal to p multiplied by q, and then here you can use pi n which is equal to p minus 1 and then q minus 1. If you want, you can check, you can include whether the given two values are prime or not. Otherwise you can skip the part and then directly you can select the value E, printf, select the value of E, right? Again, if you want, you can check the value of E, right? Then you just enter the value percentage D, comma, ampersand E. I hope this is clear till whatever I am explaining. If you have any queries regarding this part, you can explain, you can um, no raise the query to me. Okay, so then later what you could do is that you could explain it, expand it further, right? So scan up, so till this part E, right? Then you just write the value for printf, enter the value of M, right? If the E value is selected, whether you can give the E value as the prime numbers or the co-prime between this E and pi of n, you can calculate manually. Otherwise, you can write the logic for identifying that GCD between this E and pi of n to be 1. If you want more complex, you can include this part. I can explain this how to calculate the GCD in the coding part again. No issues. I'm explaining. I'm just writing the code for the simplest version. And then printf, enter plain text. This is okay. You will get the plain text values, right? And then just get the plain text value percentage D, comma, ampersand M. What is the variable which we used for plain text? Sorry, I didn't use any variable for plain text, so I'll add now. So here M is the variable which I'm going to use for plain text, right? So after that, so I need to do the ciphertext. For ciphertext, I can use C. I'll just split this value. So I didn't declare the value for the C. I can add, so C1, C2 for encryption, D1, D2 for decryption, right? So all these value are declared in the integer data type, right? Accordingly, I can go further. So here my C value is equal to, here C1, here I am going to write only this part. What is the formula? Ciphertext equal to M power E mod n. Now I am going to use only this part. In this first logic, I am going to divide into half, and then I am going to do it, which is C1 is equal to power of M comma E. So this will give the results which is going to be stored in the C1. So from that I am going to do further operation, which is C1. This is modulus symbol, right? N. Whatever the modulus value which I am going to get, so that is our C2, which is a ciphertext. Now I am going to print the value. So printf, the ciphertext are the encrypted values, right? So here I can mention that I can give the percentage right here, comma, which is C2, which will be displayed here. I hope this is clear till this part. If any queries, you can write in the chat box. Okay. The next step is that we need to do, or we need to calculate the D value, right? For that, you need to use the formula. There is no other option. You need to use the formula. D is equal to E star D modulus pi of n, right? Which should gives the remainder value is equal to, or which, no, you can calculate it like this, right? Whatever the results you are going to get, so that will be your D value, or you can use this formula, right? So pi of n plus 1 upon E, right? So you can use this formula and the D value will be calculated. After that, you can display the value printf the secret or the private key. E we assumed it as the public key. Here it is the private key. D is percentage D, comma D. I hope this is clear till this part. After that, we need to do the encryption, which is at the end of the encryption, we'll get plain text. M is equal to C power D mod N. So this part, right, I can use using this. So D1 is equal to power of C comma D, and I'll get the D1 value. So in order to get the D2, right, again I can use D1 modulus N value, right? So this will give the D2 value. So after that you can print the value of D2, printf, right, the actual or original message is percentage D comma this D2. I hope this is clear. Any query, any further clarification required? You can use integer main, void main, and you all might be knowing about the basics, right? If you are using integer, you need to write the return type. If you are using a void, and so that will not accept any return types. Is it clear? Now those who requested for explanation again, you need to mention in the chat box whether are you clear or not. Okay, so this is the simplest way, but in the previous program I automated everything because I did checked whether the entered number is prime number. I did check whether the entered values are the co-prime, I mean E value and the pi of n are the co-prime, right? By the way, I just know everything which was automated in the single steps, so that so everything is done automatically. Either here you need to be more cautious, right? You need to select the values are the prime numbers or not. Okay, now I hope you all understood the complete programming part. I hope that you are all explaining, you are all doing the experiment, you are all practicing parallelly behind your screen. Any other queries regarding this explanation part, the practical point of view? Any other queries to be addressed? Okay, then I can just share the link for the upload. Experiment number 2. I'm sharing the link in the chat box. Through the link, this is the Google form link for the experiment number 2. Through the link you can upload all the write-ups. I hope. What happened? So I posted the link in the chat box. So this is the link, our Google Form link for the experiment number 2 write-ups. Through the link you can upload the write-up for the experiment number 2, which includes your aim and the program, and then output part, and then conclusion part, everything in the form of soft copy. Yes, you can check the Moodle, all the links which are related to the lectures as well as the practical which are already uploaded. For this subject, you need to check the System Security Lab account. The practical links will not be available on the theory subject, which is CSS. For this write-ups upload link, you need to find the link in the System Security Lab course. Alia, is it clear? First two links Moodles are already links are already available on Moodles. If you want, I can show it. See here, you can find in the Moodle account, right? So this is a System Security Lab course account. So here you will get all the experiment samples. So here the code part which I'm explaining. So this coding part which may subject to change, right? Otherwise, no, I'll give the coding part when I explain, right? Every practical live at the end of the right practical, I'll be sharing the code. The same code can be used, right? It depends upon the updations or no practices which I insist to you, right? So now this is for the list of experiment, the sample encryption code. So this is the Google Form link where you need to upload the code, and these are the two video links where you can refer the recorded videos for the practicals. Very similarly, so this is for implementation of Affine Cipher. I have uploaded the videos for part 1 and part 2. Sample code I have uploaded, as well as whatever the sample code which I'm sharing through the online compiler, with the help of the online compiler which we are executing or which you are executing. I've already uploaded the codes here, as well as the Google Form link through you can upload the write-ups. Each and every experiment you will get all these files, sample program code as well as Google Form link, and then the recorded videos, right? You can, you are instructed to refer the Moodle site for all the courses time to time. All the recorded lectures, materials, the PPT materials, whatever the faculties are using, everything will be shared only through the Moodle account. I hope now it is clear for all of you. Yes. So any other further queries regarding the practicals, regarding this practical experiment number 2, which is RSCA, which is reverse Samir Edelman algorithm? If you have any queries regarding today's practical, and you can write in the chat box. What lecture? Okay, sorry, if you have other lectures, right, you can proceed with the lectures, right? You can. I'll end the meeting now. Thank you all. Take care until.